and welcome to the actual first episode of Inside Winfield Sports. I'm Ryan Riley, and this is.
Hey, I'm Richie Mercer.
And we are here to talk about the week that was and the week that will be of Winnfield Sports. Tonight on the show, we have our track team, we have our baseball team, and our softball teams represented. It's been a heavy season for baseball and softball. We are about 2/3 through, and for track, they have a whole season in front of them. So tonight on the show, we are happy to talk to some student athletes and some coaches about what is happening. So first off, we will have the track team. So let's go to a commercial. And we are here with one of our track coaches, Coach Eric Hardaway. Coach, how long have you been working with the track team?
I started working with the track team in 2013 when I came to Winnfield. I was the head coach for about 6 years, I believe. And when I moved into administration, I've been back and forth to say I've been an assistant and not an assistant, but I'm always out there helping when I can. So I've been a part of it for quite some time. I think it's year 12, I think, something like that. You lose track, you know.
Kind of run together.
Yeah, kind of run together.
So it's we've started conditioning and we're running through practices, and you're probably trying to figure out who's good at different things. So if you could just give us a preview of what's to come for the year.
Yeah, we're getting ready to run this Friday at Manny. The next week will be at Hodge, and you got to have everything lined out for district. That's the goal. So you got 4 kind of preseason meets before district, which is kind of our first round of the playoffs. And so right now we're trying to figure out who fits where. We've turned in some really impressive times running against nobody, which is very difficult to do. So we're really looking forward to it, to seeing what we're going to have. We got some young kids that are really, really impressive athletes that trying to figure out where we're going to use them. In track, you can only use a kid in 4 athletes, so each student athlete can only do 4 events max, and so you got to kind of figure out where they're the best at, because you got some that can do 8 or 9, but you got to put them in 4 only. So
To maximize those points.
that is correct, to maximize the points for them and the team.
Yep.
So yes, sir.
So is there any student athletes you could talk about that are really catching your eye that might be ready for a breakout season?
Well, I'm not going to spoil the 2 that's going to talk to you here in a minute, but I'm looking forward to see Craig St. Cyr, senior, going to see what he's going to do. Caden Jackson's looking good on the track. Gabe Marin's looking good on the track. I've been working a lot with the jumps. Really excited about what I'm seeing down there with some young kids in the jumps, getting the techniques down. So I'm really looking forward to see the first few weeks of the season and kind of see what kind of numbers we post. So.
And you've already really talked about the next couple of weeks, so Richie has just kind of insights.
Yeah, so it's what you're saying that you're going to use this as a preseason, I guess, as you say. So you're willing to move kids around if you see that, hey, he may be better at 100-meter hurdles versus the 200-meter, and just so you can maximize that. Even though they're running as an individual, your goal is that point for the team.
Right, absolutely. You got to figure out it's a fine-tuned machine until you get to district. For example, you have a kid that's a really good sprinter. Well, he may be a good jumper too, but then you also got to see which relays you're best at. Because again, if you use him in the 100, the 200, and the 4x1 and the 4x2, he's it. That's it.
That's it.
And you can't use that athlete in a jump if he may be your best jumper. So you kind of it's definitely difficult to kind of figure out where they fall into place. Because unfortunately for track, when you get to district, it's the top 4 advance to the region, then the top 3 advance to state out the region. And it's basically our region. Region 1 is always the most challenging. Your I-10 North basically is what Region 1 is.
Right.
And so if our student athletes make it to Baton Rouge out of Region 1, we feel really good about it.
Sure.
So, yep.
Do you let's say if do you look at the meet or if you get heats or whatever in advance? Do you say if you see a kid that can do well in the 200 meter, do you put him in the 200 meter even though that he's excelled in another, so that way you can try to maximize those points and shift it that way?
In the four meets going into district, we definitely going to use them and just, like for example, I use Craig for example. Craig is really fast. Craig is also a really good jumping athlete. He's somebody that we may shift all around. One of
Right.
our young ladies that's fixing to talk to you here in a second is another one that we're going to have to figure out what four events is she the best in. I mean, she's a four-event athlete for us. So we got to figure out where we can maximize these student athletes to have the most success for them as an individual, but also us as a team and,
That's right.
and the district and the region.
That's great.
So, yes, sir.
That's great.
Well, Coach, that is all we had for you. I can't wait to see the meets coming up, see some times, some distances. Excited to see what you got going on.
Yes, sir.
Good luck this season.
Yes, sir.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you.
The greatest. The greatest. The greatest. The greatest. The greatest.
And we are here with Paige. Paige, could you introduce yourself, tell them what grade you're in, and what events that you compete in?
Hey, my name is Paige. I am a junior in high school, and I run the 4x1, 4x2. I run the 200, and I do high jump.
Awesome. You're a junior. Have you done 2 years of track leading into this?
This will be my second year of
Okay.
track. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Before we get into the track stuff, well, why did you come back for a second season? So you did one and you apparently enjoyed it maybe?
Yes, sir. Last year was my first year, and it was fun. And I made it to state in high jump, and I feel like I made top 5. And I feel like this year, if I put more work in and like keep working, I can make like top 3
Awesome.
in state.
That's great. So which one is your favorite event of all of the ones that you?
4x1.
Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's not just by yourself. You have your teammates. And
Yes, sir.
what leg are you?
I'm the third leg.
Nice.
Well, they switched it, so now I'm
Yeah.
the second leg.
Okay.
Second leg this year.
Put a lot of pressure on you then.
On your 4x1 team, how many of the team is coming back from last year?
It's only 2 of us coming back. We have 2 new people, and one of them didn't come back this year. Yeah, it's another junior coming, and someone from Calvin came to run track on my 4-1.
Awesome. As you are competing, why do you think it's important that students are involved in sports?
Because it keeps students active, and it'll keep them focused on the right things. Like, it'll keep them out of mess. It'll keep them out of trouble. And I feel like if you do sports, it'll have your mind focused on the right things.
Yes, that's a great answer.
Absolutely.
So as a track athlete, as a former track athlete myself, how are you? Even though you are on a team, but you're still running as an individual, even though maybe not in the 4x1 or what have you. How do you motivate yourself, even though that you're doing an event by yourself? Are you doing that motivation because of how well you did at state, saying, "Hey, I'm going to come back and top
Yeah.
3 or what have you"?
Yes, sir. And to me, I really just enjoy the sport. I really enjoy the event that I do. And for it being my first year last year, making it to state, I feel like it'll be, I feel like it'll be like very, very good for me to do it this year.
Yeah, well, you've already got the experience, and now you already know how the layout is, and now it's just time to attack.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. As you are competing and you've competed in multiple sports at high levels, what kind of impact do you hope to leave for the future generations of Tigers?
I want to put a good name out there for myself, so it'll have students and other future students and athletes to look up to, so they won't be like nervous, or if they do get nervous, just remember like just push through it and you'll get where you want to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Richie, you got anything else?
Oh, that's great. And that's good luck to you for the rest of the track season.
Thank you.
Paige, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The greatest. The greatest. The greatest.
And now we go from Miss Carroll to Mr. Crossler. Jacob, would you introduce yourself, tell them what class you're in, and what events you compete in?
My name is Jacob Crosler. I'm a junior at Winnfield, and I'm a thrower. I do the disc and maybe the shot put.
Awesome. You said a junior, and this is, how many years have you competed in track?
This will be year 2 for me.
Awesome. So you enjoyed it last year, maybe?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Going into year 2, it's a big year because now you kind of know the layout, know what to expect, know how to train, know what's expected up to you from your coaches, and so that's looking for big things from this year with it being your second year.
So as you are doing it, you had to balance, prep for the different sports you play and all. How do you balance everything, Jacob? You've been competing since August.
Yeah. It really, of course, started during the summer with football, having workouts, and then like transitioning into like the actual season, just like having practice every day, and then games on Fridays, and then just immediately going straight to basketball and now track. You kind of just have to like prepare yourself and like put in all the work and trying to get where you want to be, helping your team out to be the best team we can be.
Take advantage of the rest when you can, huh?
So you are you play in football and basketball, and track is a singular sport. You're just by yourself. You're competing against yourself most days. How do you find the motivation to do that?
When I look at it, I just think like now that I'm by myself, it's still like a team sport, but like you said, it's individual. So I just try to like look at the competition, see what I can do to like improve myself every day, like going into practice, and
That's great. So what has your experience been like? I mean, overall, it's what we have talked about. Your being a second year in track and football and the other. So overall, as your experience, I mean, has it been? How's that been for you?
it's been a really good experience. Getting myself out there, constantly just improving and getting better at everything that I do, and hopefully just improving every time.
when it's my thought process is every sport that you compete in helps you improve in that other ones. Whereas track helps you get faster, helps you with your mechanics in football, helps you endurance in basketball. So that's great.
Jacob, as someone that is involved in year-round athletics, I think you can answer this question. Why do you think it's important for students to compete in sports?
Well, of course, staying busy, staying involved, keeps you active, keeps you in shape, and then also just keeps you out of trouble as well. Staying involved in school and stuff like that.
As you are going through the final months of your junior year, you got to start thinking about the impact that you've had on the next generations. So, what kind of impact are you hoping to leave? What kind of legacy are you hoping to leave for future Tigers?
Hoping to leave a positive impact. People can look at, want to strive to be better than me, and do the best for themselves and the rest of their team, their sport.
Awesome. Richie?
Yeah, it's that's a great answer. So, I would guess just my question would be: I know that you play all three, but is there a sport that you like the best, or is it just a kind of a multitude? You just like them all just because of different reasons?
I would say I like definitely football the best,
Yeah,
but it's pretty even.
Yeah.
I'd say.
great.
Well, Jacob, I thank you so much for coming and sitting down with us, and good luck to you in this season.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jacob.
The greatest. The greatest. The greatest. The greatest.
All right, and now we leave our track team and coaches, and we are going to baseball, going to the Diamond. So we're going to be here with Coach Heron. Coach Heron, this is the first time we are interviewing you. So if you could introduce yourself and just tell them a little bit about everything.
My name's Damian Herron. I'm the head baseball coach at Winnfield Senior High School. This is my third year on the job. This is my 21st year coaching and teaching. So it's been an exciting time the last 3 years, and I've enjoyed my time here.
Great.
So can you tell us a little bit about the year?
Well, we've had a rough year. Battled some serious injuries to some guys that we were counting on. Had some few minor injuries throughout the season for guys that we were dependent on the mound that we battled through. We got those two guys back. Played a really tough schedule. I'm one of those that I think the only way you get better is you have to play better people. You can go out and play people of inferior talent or inferior teams and beat up on them all the time, but you're not going to be ready when you make the playoffs if you do that. One thing I try to tell the guys every year is our non-district schedule, once we get through with that, when we hit district play, there's probably not anything they could see on the mound speed-wise, velocity-wise, that they haven't already seen from the competition that we played early in the year. So we've struggled here a little while. We're 4-17 on the year. We have managed to win 3 of the last 4. We have played 2 district games. We beat Red River at our place, then lost to them 10-4 at their place. So we're 1-1 in district, which I tell the kids every year, one of our main goals is to try to win the district and be the district champion. So we're still in a position where we could do that.
Even though it's been a tough season, I've been happy to see that it feels like we're developing a lot of young arms, with a lot of reps for those boys.
We are. We have one senior on the team, Jess Nelson, and then we've got 4 or 5 juniors. One of them's out with an injury. We've got 4 or 5 sophomores that have played a lot. Got a couple of freshmen that have actually contributed some in some varsity action this year. So a lot of our arms are going to be back next year. With juniors and sophomores getting a lot of pitching time, that'll help. A lot of sophomores have been thrust into a starting role that at the beginning of the year we really weren't expecting them to be when we made the schedule out. They've stepped up. They have played hard. They've gotten better. And the main thing I try to tell the guys before every ball game is we want to get better every inning. We want to just get better. And I can deal with some ups and downs in a ball game as long as we're hustling and we're giving effort. I tell them all the time, there's 2 things that you cannot coach, and that's hustle and effort. I can deal with other things as long as you're hustling, you're giving me effort, and you're playing as hard as you can. And for the most part this year, I feel like our guys have done that, and they've stepped up when I've asked them to.
So, and I'm really glad to hear that because, every year you got to keep building. It never stops. You are 1 series down through the district schedule. And so can you talk to us about, because it seems like the past 4 years we've had different types of district schedules. So could you just explain that and talk about who you got coming up?
Yeah, so my 3 years here, we've had 3 different district schedules. Something that I told them the last year at our all-district meeting that we needed to build some consistency with our district schedule so that, we know what it's going to be, we know what we're looking at. I think the first year I was here, we played everybody 1 time, then we had a district tournament, and then that got canceled. Last year, we played everybody in a 3-game set.
Over 2 days.
Over 2 days, so you had to play a single game on Thursday and a doubleheader on Friday.
That's a lot of baseball.
It is a lot of baseball. It puts a lot of pressure on you pitching-wise.
Yes.
This year, we went to a 2-game format where you play everybody on a Tuesday and a Thursday so that any one team that has one dominant arm can't just save that arm and
Right.
throw it against somebody every time they play, which I like. I was not opposed to the 3-game set because it mirrors our playoffs. However, I did tell everybody in district, if we're going to do a 3-game set, then I think it should be set up like the playoffs where the 3rd game is an if-needed game. If you happen to split the first 2, you play a 3rd game just in case. But in order to do that, teams have to be willing to leave 4 open dates on their schedule and not schedule the full 34 games, and you don't have many teams that are willing to do that, so that's why we went to the 2 games. Upcoming, we have a tough week this week. We have Manny, who is probably the best team in our district right now. They're 15-6 on the year, have 10-run ruled several teams, played some tough competition. We go there on Tuesday, and then they come to our place on Thursday for our first responders night. And then the following week, we'll have a doubleheader with Mansfield at our place, and then we'll finish up district play with Lakeside the last week of the season.
And so, Coach, in terms of the matrix that you use to evaluate your team, is there a matrix that you use, say, for offense, like for example, on base percentage, or how do you, especially your young talent, how do you evaluate them to see, I want to put my best lineup out on the field, whether it be defensively or offensively?
Offensively, a lot of what I look at is contact percentage. Are we making contact with the ball? Are we putting the ball in play? Because I'm a firm believer, if you're hitting the ball hard and you're hitting the ball in play, then eventually you're going to find a hole.
Sure.
Another thing that I look at is quality at bats. Are we seeing pitches? Are we fouling pitches off? Are we taking bad pitches? Are we swinging at good pitches? I want to look at that. Obviously, you got to have guys that'll get on base. So we look a lot at on-base percentage.
one of our big Achilles heels right now is when we get runners on is not being able to get the runners in. I think a couple weeks ago we went to Quitman and I looked up, and after the game, 6 out of 7 innings we got runners on base. 5 out of those 7 you got runners in scoring position, and you score 1 run in the ball game because you can't get them in.
That's kind of it's tough. It's tough.
And it's frustrating.
Yep.
And it's not just one spot in the lineup where we got runners on in scoring position, and we've been struggling to get them in. Now, the last 3 or 4 games that we've had here lately, we've been able to score some runs. We scored 8 against Red River the first time, 4 against them the second time. This past Saturday, we scored 13 and 22 in a game, so we've actually managed to put some runs on the board. So I feel like we're kind of turning in a positive direction there. Defensively, I just want guys to make routine plays.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time, I don't need the spectacular play.
That's right.
I need the routine baseball play.
That's right.
Catch the ground ball clean, throw the ball clean, and, you know, I'm an outfielder. I tell my outfield, go get the ball.
Yeah.
Don't wait on somebody else. Ball in the air, go get it. I want you. I got you out there for a reason. Go get the ball. Don't hesitate. So that's kind of defensively what I look for. And then pitching-wise, I want guys to be 60% in the strike zone. Make the other team swing the bat.
That's right. That's a great percentage. Yeah.
You know, if we're making them swing the bat, then the other guys on the field are involved and they're playing, and you're trusting your teammates. I don't expect to any pitcher that we have to go out there and strike out the side and win me a ball game.
Right. But it's team effort. So I mean, it's pitch to contact, allow your defense to work behind you, and then go in and score some runs. And you guys have been scoring some runs here lately, so keep that up.
Hopefully, we'll keep that up this week against Manny. Like I said, it will be a tough week, but we have managed my first 2 years here to play them well when we've played them. So I'm hoping the guys are going to step up. Like I said, winning 3 of the last 4 gives me some confidence going into this week. So
And the kids too.
and the kids too.
That's right.
Yeah, it does.
Baseball game's a failure. It's 1 out of 3 in your Hall of Fame. So it's
exactly.
so if you have confidence, especially at the plate, it means all the difference in the world.
It's kind of funny you say that. That's one of the things that I tell the kids, that this is a game of failure. You're going to fail more than you're going to be successful
Absolutely.
in this game.
That's
So
right.
you have to be able to handle that, move on from it, and learn from it. And if you can do that, then you're going to be a better player the next day.
Absolutely. Correct.
So.
Well, Coach, a few weeks left of the season. We wish you the best of luck, and we hope to check back in with you in a couple of weeks, see where we at.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Good luck.
Coach.
The greatest. The greatest. The greatest. The greatest. The greatest.
And we move from one diamond to another. We got Coach Abels. Coach Abels, if you could introduce yourself to the viewers at home.
Hey, Ronnie Abels, 3rd year coaching softball here. 20 I guess it's my 19th year actually head coaching. Had a pretty good 3 years here. It's been fun. Just softball. So what we do.
Hit anything that's yellow. That's right.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Anything's yellow.
Right. So we are. This is March 22nd. So we're what 3-4 weeks left of the season, something like that. So if you could just kind of recap the year, how we are, where we are.
Hey, as far as on the year, we're 15-7, undefeated in district so far. We've had a really good year. The kids have played really well. I think the last 20 days we played 15 games in the last 20 days. So the last 3 weeks have been, the month of March in baseball and softball was brutal because just when you play your tournaments and you're getting district started, you're still trying to play your regular schedule. Those 15 games over 20 days, we've been very successful. We went 11-4. 11-4. And those 4 losses being to Santa Ma, John Curtis, Turley's Catholic, and can't remember the other one, but all of them 5A schools. Then we were in those games. Oh, Pineville. Pineville beat us 12-6. Turling beat us 5-1. Curtis beat us 10-3, and Santa Ma beat us 4-3, and we were in all of them. So, been a tough month. Next week, this coming week, tomorrow we go to Evangel, another pretty good program. Tuesday we got a district game with Mansfield at Mansfield, and then Thursday we have the Lady Griffins from North DeSoto coming to Winnfield. So who's ranked #1 right now in their division. So. It's not getting any easier.
No rest for the weary, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So what if you had to identify like the identity of the team? What do you think your team's identity would be?
Well, I really think it's kind of changed since we got started. I thought we were a little passive early. The year we had last year wasn't great by far. I think we were 12-18 and just, not where you wanted to be. So I thought the kids really were just kind of passive and just kind of, here we are, it's just kind of maybe another year. But over the first 2 or 3 weeks, I thought they really flipped the switch. And as I think you've heard me say before, I want them to play with pride, passion, and purpose. And they have really done that. They're playing as a cohesive group. I mean, they play for one another. They have went from being laid back and what happens to we're a pretty good bunch, and you're gonna have to get after us if you're gonna try to win it. So I really think their attitudes and stuff have changed over at least the last 3.5 weeks.
Sounds like they're playing with a lot of confidence, and
They are.
not only that, just holding one another accountable, which is huge.
Yeah, we had that discussion a couple weeks ago about as a staff, us not holding them accountable, but as the players holding themselves
That's right.
accountable. And they do. I mean, they've learned how to do it and do it in the right way. Confidence-wise, Richie, you was talking about being confident. This bunch, this may be even one of the best hitting lineups I've ever had. We're hitting neighborhood of 350 as a team.
That's great.
I think the home run we hit yesterday makes 31 on the year so far. So, I mean, they're believing in themselves and they believe in each other.
Getting down 3-1, you're not upset. You're not hanging your head. Because hey, I can swing the bat.
We played 3 ball games this weekend, and 2 of the 3 we trailed, and we come from behind and won both those games. Just they don't think they're ever done. They think they've got a chance. Regardless of what score is.
That's a great mindset.
Pitching's been really good.
So Coach, it's, in terms of strategy, how do you evaluate your team? Is there a matrix, or is there something that I know you said that you guys are not going to cover off the ball now with hitting, but is there a matrix that you look at to evaluate how you strategize you make up your lineup, or you set your defensive position up?
Offensively, I know a lot of people out there, everything is average, and what you're hitting is average, or you're hitting 500, or you're hitting 250, which is great. I mean, I understand you
Right.
have to use that number, but I know Coach Aaron said earlier, talking about, we call them quality
Quality bats, that's right.
And that what kids have to understand is there's so much goes into quality at bat. You have a quality at bat if you have a hard hit ball. Even if it's a hard hit ball to second baseman and they catch it, that's a
Or if
quality
you,
at bat.
you may strike out, but if you have seven,
If you have
seven,
more than 6 pitches in an at bat, it's a quality
quality
at bat.
at bat, that's right.
If you see more than 3 pitches after 2 strikes, it's a quality at bat.
doesn't show up in the stats sheet,
If it's a
but
walk.
it shows up in the
You know,
team.
if it's a sack bunt, which, a lot of kids say, he asked me to bunt, well, you done your job, sack bunt.
That's right.
That's a quality at bat. We moved the runner, gives a chance to score. One of the games we won this weekend was because we got some bunts down and got
Set
people
yourself
there.
up for a
So,
big inning there. That's right.
so I look at some of that stuff more than, what they're actually hitting. I know a line drive that's smoked at the third baseman doesn't go under your average, but it just helped us as a team, and hopefully helps you with confidence.
Well, it also tells you that, hey, I'm seeing the ball. It's even though that it's I'm sitting at line drive, I'm on the ball, and you stay in that, and it's going to eventually find the hole.
Correct.
It's going to
Keep hitting.
keep hitting.
Keep hitting. And the kids have done a really good job of that. Defensively, and it starts in the circle.
Yeah.
You got to be, whether it's on the bump for baseball or with us in the circle for softball, you got to be good there. And then you just want kids to make plays behind you. Pitcher's got to trust that your defense is solid enough. And the level we play now, you're not going to be clean defensively.
Right.
You're not going to have a 1,000 fielding percentage.
That's right. No.
The teams you play put a lot of pressure on you. So, you want to make the plays you can make and keep the ball on the infield if we can. Keep it in front of us. Try not to give those big extra base hits. Try to keep the ball in the park.
And you try to keep the pressure on them more times than they keep the pressure on you.
Correct.
So
And in turn, I think we can do that by hitting.
That's right.
That puts a lot of pressure on their defense.
That's right. Yep.
All right, Coach. We got a couple of weeks left of district and then the playoffs, and so we're excited to see where we go from now. And hopefully in a week or so we'll get you back and talk about the season.
We're looking for that March 31st matchup with Manny. Be here right now. We're both undefeated in districts, so that may be hopefully be the
That's right.
district title game right there.
That's right.
Hopefully we can get it done.
All right, so
Good luck.
Coach, good luck, and we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
The greatest. The greatest. The greatest. The greatest. The greatest.
All right, and now we go from Coach Abels to one of his, his only senior player. Raylan, will you introduce yourself? Talk name, grade, position, all that.
I'm Raylan Bartlett. I'm a senior at Winnfield Senior High School, and I play shortstop.
Awesome. You have been playing, I'm guessing, your whole life?
Entire life.
So, give us like a favorite memory growing up playing softball.
I played a lot of travel ball. I won a lot of tournaments. That's my younger years. That's probably my favorite memories. And then you get to high school, and that's my all-time favorite. Just being with some of my favorite people.
Making a lot of
playing.
memories
Yes.
on and off the
Most definitely.
on and off the diamond.
It's great.
So you are going into your fourth year playing senior high softball. You've been doing it your whole life. Why do you keep coming back and playing more softball?
It gives me a great feeling. I love the people that I play with. They've become family, and it's just it's an enjoyable time all the way around. The sport, the people, the feeling you get. It's unmatched.
All right, so scenario: would you rather hit a home run or turn a double play?
Hit a home run.
All right, hit that dinger. You hear that, Coach? Hit a dinger.
Absolutely.
But a double play in softball is just so rare. It's so
It is.
not like
It's
that'd be pretty
I mean,
great,
it's
right?
great.
It'd be,
Great, but
depends on the situation.
but it's that home run. You just
feeling of a home
I
run.
mean it's
It's unmatched.
off the bat and you just
Yes,
send it. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, you are a 4-year letter winner in softball, and why do you feel like every student should play sports?
It gives you a relax from school. I mean, it's still affiliated with school, but I mean, you've got your friends out there with you, and you can still be associated with the school, but you can do what you love while being associated with school. It's not just strictly schoolwork, and it's just you get to do what you love.
So you're the only senior on your team. It's Coach talked about that earlier about how you guys have really a good cohesive group. How is that being the only senior in terms of leadership? Is that a lot of pressure on you? Added pressure on you in the locker room?
A little bit, but the girls, they make it easy. I mean, they're a great group of girls to work with. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better group
That's
in my
great.
senior year.
For sure,
because
yeah.
Everybody that knows me knows I don't handle pressure well, so they take a lot of that off. They're a great group.
That's why you play a team sport.
Yes.
What kind of impact, not trying to, get sad and, senior year and all that stuff, but what kind of impact are you hoping to leave for the future generations of Tigers?
A positive one, just one to where people can look forward to playing their sport and stepping out of their comfort zone. And yes, it can be challenging at times, but it's mostly fun. It creates memories that you'll never forget.
Yes, indeed. It's well, I think that we've got it covered. Do you have anything you want to add, or it's anything that any questions that you want to?
Do you have, if you had to tell the community one thing about the softball team, what would you tell them? You got 30 seconds to tell the whole community. What do you want to tell them about the softball team?
I've never played with a group of girls that have worked like we have worked, that are dedicated like we're dedicated, and it's just the chemistry. It's great. I mean, it's been the best year by far.
That's great.
That I've played in high school.
Awesome. Well, Raylan, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming and sitting down with us, and good luck to you. And we can't wait to see what the next month or so has in store.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Good luck.
The greatest. The greatest. The greatest.
All right, so thank you so much for watching as we talk to track. baseball and softball. We cannot wait to see what the track season holds in store. We can't wait to see what the future and playoffs for our baseball and softball team hold in store for us. Richie, thank you for sitting down.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you next time on Inside Winfield Sports. Thank you.
Thanks.